Hello, Modified Rabbit here. We're in my bedroom today because I have some commission work to do and I really don't want to lean over my desk anymore. My back is not great at the moment, so um, uh, so yeah, I'm in here because I can prop pillows up and lean back against the headboard and whatnot. So yeah, anyway, today I'm probably gonna go off on a little bit of a rant because, before I made this, like earlier today, got into it on one of the furry art groups or whatever that I'm in to advertise my work in and stuff. Got into it with one of the admins and a couple of the people. I'm I'm just like, I've been seeing this for a while now, and I'm just like, finally, I'm really sick of it. And I'm sick of the support for it. Like, it's just, which is underpaying artists. Like, supporting artists not being paid properly. Like, any of the excuses that I've seen is like, no, that is from a consumer's standpoint and not from the artist standpoint. And the only artist standpoint that it could come from is somebody that completely either undervalues themselves or knows that they probably shouldn't be doing commission work and is just charging a ridiculously low price. But yeah, that's the whole gist of it, is the extremely low cost. And when I say low cost, I mean like under $5 type stuff. Like, that group, I have, like, over the past couple weeks, I've seen way too many posts anymore, like, just pop into my feed of what can I get for $1. Like, what can I get for $3 was the one today that I got into it on. And I've even seen some that were under $1. And if somebody were to say anything against it, they'd be like, oh, I was just joking, But then if somebody actually replies, which, oh my God, I've actually seen some artists go, oh, I could do something for that amount. Why? Like, your time that you take to do whatever you're offering to do, if you're a decent enough artist to do commission work, is worth more than fucking less than $1. Like, really? Okay, so first of all, this just disclaimer, this is not about an artist choosing to do work for a low amount. This is not about that. This is about, one, is about like customers thinking, like, either expecting that they should get for that amount, or even bothering to ask, because that's extremely insulting. And it's like asking, being like, what can I get for this amount, um is just a sneaky roundabout way of someone wanting art for that amount. Like, it's not going, oh, well, I was just seeing, it's just whatever. And it's just like, no, you only had this amount and you can't afford more, and you don't want to pay more. And so you're going to put it in that type of way so that you can kind of claim to be some sort of innocent on the matter. And it's like, you're not. You're putting that out there that, hey, I think that there's enough of a possibility for me to get art at this low of a cost that I'm going to go ahead and post this. That's what that is. So you're not innocent if you're posting stuff like that. And then this is also about artists feeling like they have to charge that amount. So this isn't, if anyone thinks that an actual artist, like an actual commission artist, not one of those ones that's scamming, or somebody that probably shouldn't be doing commission art, because, like, what, I'm not usually one to go, oh, this, compare qualities of artwork, because different art can whatever. And yeah, there are some artists that do what I would consider not great quality stuff, sell for something, sell it for a ridiculous amount of money because they're in a good social circle. But generally, if your art is not up to a certain standard for quality, you shouldn't be doing commission work. You need to wait and, build your work up a little better and your quality up a little better, and then do commission work so you can charge a proper amount. Because what you do when you don't do that and you go ahead and put that lower quality work out and be like, well, I know it's lower quality, so I'm only going to charge this extremely low amount. You're putting it out there because there's a lot of customers that don't know the difference clearly between good quality and bad quality, or they don't care and they think that, oh, it's all art, so if this art is this much, then all of it should be that much. And they really do think that way. There's too many that do. So, and I've seen so many, so it's either those who actually, they're like, oh, well, then I do choose to put that out there. But any other actual proper commission artist that is proper quality, that should be doing commission art if they want to, they don't, while they are willingly putting it out there for smaller amounts, they don't want to if they didn't have to, or if they didn't feel like they have to. No artist is going to be all like, oh, well, I know I'm able to get properly paid for this, and I know that customers will pay properly for this and stuff like that, but I'm gonna charge this ridiculously low amount that probably barely covers my supply cost, if not even covering that, let alone not my time. I totally want to just do that. No. Most of the time when an artist, like a commission artist, especially a decent one, puts their stuff at a low price, like I've even done it on the rare occasion, especially around Halloween, I do like to supplement small bits of extra monies for, I've done quick sketch headshots for like $5 or something. That's about the lowest I'm gonna go, and most everything else is 15 up type thing, but it's all like stuff that takes a ridiculously short amount of time for me, so I'm actually being paid properly for it. But that's not something that most artists will do anyways, let alone, if they don't feel like they don't have to, or if they won't do it that often, which I wouldn't do it that often either. Like, that's not a thing that I do commonly, like, all the time. That's something that you do to supplement little bits, like to fill in the gaps on occasion. But the only reason artists do that is when they feel like they have to. Not that they want to, they feel like they have to. And if you feel like they just want to, then you clearly do not understand that. Like, don't understand commission art whatsoever, and an actual proper, commission artist and how they live and how they feel and stuff. Like, most of us have bills, most of us, have things that we need the money for, and most of us have to, our time and our supplies and stuff are worth something, like, we can't just do it ridiculously low, and that time that it takes to do something like that, we could be doing something else that we actually want to do, or doing a commission piece that actually pays proper, type stuff. It's just, I just can't. Like, this group that I was in is just, someone was offering, being honest, I know this is all over the place. I'm just so scatterbrained with this. It's just, there's so many aspects to this whole entire thing that so yeah. But, like, there was a post today or the other day or whatever, is like, what can I get for $3? And sadly, there were a couple of artists that were like, yeah, I got this. And there was one or two that was kind of, probably shouldn't be doing commission work because of the quality thing. And then there was, like, I think there was one that I saw that was actually really decent quality, and I'm like, why? I'm like, please don't undersell yourself, because that is really, like, decent work for, $3? No, stop it. But there was one comment I actually laughed at, and I thought was funny, because they said pocket lint, and someone griped at them for it, and I'm like, I think that's appropriate response. I think anybody that posts something like that, what can I get for $3 or less than that, or anything less than like fucking $5 or whatever, and expects anything, it just, like, needs to be laughed at and told ridiculous things that they could get that aren't really worth $3, like pocket lit. It's just like, I thought it was funny, and then I explained to that person that was griping at them, why that was actually a appropriate response, because, that kind of stuff, and any artist responding to that kind of stuff, puts it out there more that this is what you can ask for, and you can ask any artist for that amount, and you can get good quality art for this amount. It's just like it's like training a dog, like you're training commissioners that they can ask for these ridiculously low prices. Sorry about that. My partner kind of came in, so anyway, as I was saying, I'm probably gonna get off a little off track now because not my forgetfulness, but like I've been doing commission work for 10 plus years. I've been doing even before that though. Like I sold my work when I was in elementary school. I did you know stuff like that, and I sold stuff that I wanted to draw. Like I just randomly drew to other kids for like $1 or so, and like that's a lot for kids and whatnot. But like I'm seeing these artists that are like adults selling their work for around what I was selling. Selling custom work for what I was selling, like around what I was selling like pre-done work for in elementary school, and that's just like to me that's just ridiculous. And like but yeah, I've been doing commission work for over 10 years, and I'm a lot older than I look, but but I've seen the commission community and how it's gone quickly downhill, especially once digital stuff got involved. Um, it and once we got better stuff for scanning in the traditional work and everything like that, stuff to where pretty much anybody, it'll make it a lot easier for anybody to put their work out there. So yeah, that's due to competition and whatnot, which is fine and all, but there's also the, like I said, the hobby artists and the ones that it's so easy to put your work out there, and it makes it look easy to get commissions and get paid decently. And I think that's what started these hobby artists, like the younger people that don't have bills or anything like that, hobby artists or people that aren't their skill on their work isn't up to par as it should be for commission work. I think that gave them the idea that, well, I can just easily put my work out here and make a lot of money, and then it wasn't working on making proper money. So what they did was they undershot the actual commission artists that were doing proper prices on their work to be paid properly, and that happened more and more and more, and consumers were like, yeah, I want what I can get for as little as I can get it for. So they're going after these prices, be like, yeah. And when it comes to artwork, there's so many people that don't care as much about quality, and that's whatever, I guess. But that's a huge, like, that's one of the most that's contributed the most to the downfall of commission art and the community itself. And it's just over the years of that happening, that's just gotten worse and worse to where now commissioners will expect really good quality work for that price. And there's the only way to stop that is if artists stop making excuses and for anything like that, and stop doing consistent, like stop charging that amount, which I need to stop doing as well, for even just periodically, for little fillers, like no $5 artwork or something, and just keep it up to more like 10, 15 stuff for the lowest, for little sketch stuff, and because it's still good quality. And it's just like, we just need to stop. And then because literally from the comments that I was seeing when I was like defending artists being paid properly and treated properly and respected, and it's just like the comments, so many people think that we want to charge that amount, we want to do it that for that low just because we want to, and not because we have to. And most of them, if not all of the artists that are commission artists, don't actually want to if they don't have to. They don't feel like they have to, type thing. Shh, it's people outside. But yeah, it's just like over the amount of time that I've been doing commission work, it's mostly been the past couple 2 or 3 years that's gotten to where it's gotten bad like that. And honestly, when it comes to other communities, like the furry community is one of the worst ones when it comes to this offense, because I have no clue. Like, I'm not sure why them in general, they I think it's mostly because they consume the most art, like commission art. Like, they buy the most of it because so many furry people, like, they get so many pieces of artwork done of just one character, let alone most of them have massive amounts of characters. And I think that makes them want the prices to be extremely low so that they can get more often. And I think I've seen for some of them that get art, like a couple of my friends, they're like, it's addictive, I want to get more, type thing. And it's kind of like with tattoos, you want to get more, and that kind of happened with the tattooing community as well. I watched that happen, because of scratchers illegally tattooing and offering tattoos for an insanely low amount, but they do horrible quality and screw your stuff up. So, but it's just like it's addictive to get tattoos, and it's addictive to buy commission art type stuff, and the furry community is the worst at wanting those extremely low prices because they get the most of it. And I still see it in other groups too, but not nearly as much. But over the past couple of years, it's been happening really bad because, again, like, we've got so many different things that allow you to put your work out there really easily, and just do your work a lot easier. And it's just like there are so many people that are putting out their commission work, so it does create competition. But it's just like, in lowering your prices for that competition to such a low amount that you're not even getting paid a proper wage, like you're getting paid like $1 an hour or something, or less than that. And it's just like, don't do that to yourself, and don't do that to the commissioning community, like other commission artists, because that's what you're doing that to. Like, you're not just hurting yourself, you're hurting everybody, because then everybody, like, commissioners expect that from everyone, and then everybody feels like they have to do that, and then commissioners start thinking that you just want to do that. So then they start getting extremely angry when they find someone that doesn't want to do that. So, which is why so many of us have been, over the past couple of years, getting more and more messages that from stupid commissioners that are like, oh, well, why don't you do this free? Or why are you charging so much? That's why. If you want to, complain about it, it's not just, they were trained to think that, and they were trained by us to think that, and we need to stop it. So, but yeah, I pretty much left that group because the admin in that group was pretty much, was like, oh, you just, and it, to me, and the commenter that I was agreeing with pretty much with the pocket light comment, like, was pretty much just threatened to kick us out of the group if we didn't, stop. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to stop standing up for artists to get paid proper wages, and be respected enough to not have people being all like, what can I get for $1, $3 or whatever. I'm like, I'm not going to stop standing up for artists like that. And it's kind of sad that, you seem to be on the side of someone disrespecting an artist and thinking they don't need to be paid a proper amount, and would punish somebody for standing against that. And it's just, is really weird. Like, it's really odd how much, like, it's defended, and it's really ridiculous, honestly. Like, it's really sad because they think that we actually want to charge those prices, and it's just like, no. So it ended up turning into a thing where they're thinking that I'm bashing artists for picking those prices and saying that they're not allowed to. And it's like, no, if anything, I think that it should be to where in groups that commissioners shouldn't be allowed to ask for that low of an amount, like anything that's under $5 or something, at least, like, to not be able to ask for that. And that if anything, an artist should be the one to put that out there, even though I don't think we should. But if anybody's going to put that out there, it should be the artist first and not a commissioner, because it's just like, I don't know. It's just horrible. There's so much just going on in my head about this topic. It's just ridiculous. But like, I'm like, the reason why you, I told them, I'm like, the reason why you don't see as many artists, you know, saying what I'm saying to you, and which probably makes you think that, you know, oh, this is a punishable thing, that you shouldn't be allowed to say this, or you're going to get kicked out of the group because you're being mean for somehow defending artists being paid properly and stuff, is because the reason you don't see a lot of other artists doing it is because they're afraid to do it. Like, they're afraid to be attacked for it, like, because that happens. Any artist that is like, oh, well, they should be paid properly, you shouldn't be asking for such an insanely low amount, they get jumped on. And even admins and mods in these groups are like, you know, you aren't allowed to stand up for yourself as an artist to be paid properly, lest you be kicked out of a group. And that's ridiculous, and it's insane, and it's just pushing the narrative more that artists want to be paid this amount because we're not saying anything. And we need to say something. We need to say something, and we need to stop charging stuff like less than fucking $5. Like, seriously, stop it. Like, and if you feel like your art is not worth anything more than that, then stop doing commission work and do, you know, like, practice your stuff. You know, just practice and get better, and then charge once you feel like you're ready to be, you know, get at least more than fucking $5, you know. So yeah, I know this video is really long, and I was gonna be spliced together because, you know, my partner kind of interrupted whatever, and I don't like doing videos while somebody else is in the room, so he's like, I'm sorry, you know. But yeah, so I just had to go off on a rant on that today. It's because, like, I'm so tired of seeing those types of posts where they're asking for even just less than $5 of work. And I'm so tired of seeing I have so many artists on my friends list, and I'm so tired of seeing posts constantly from them complaining about people yelling at them because they won't charge a low price, like an insanely low price, or you know, just asking them for free stuff or for insanely low priced stuff right off the bat. Like, it's just, it's awful. And we kind of did it to ourselves, but now everybody else is joining in on doing it to ourselves, like doing it to us. So, you know, we need to be the ones to stop it, because there's nobody else that's going to stop it, clearly, because they want the cheaper work. I mean, most people, you know, if they can get it cheap, they want it cheap, you know. But if we don't allow that, like, if we don't give it to them cheap, then they're going to have to either suffer without the work, or they're going to have to pay properly. So that's just, I mean, and that's how it used to be with commission art. It used to be much more appreciated too, like art itself. And now it's just, oh, well, I can get this piece of junk for $2, you know, type thing. So, you know, why would I want to, you know, appreciate anything better or get it? It's just like, you gotta give them a reason. So yeah, that's about all I can really say on that. It's just like, we kind of have to stop doing this to ourselves first before we can stop them from doing it to us. So yeah, that's my video for the day. I know nothing like super personal wise to talk about, so I hope you guys got through this whole video, because I know it's very long and it's a big rant, but it's important. So but yeah, I know I should probably make something that's a lot shorter one of these days to spread around, because I know people don't want to listen to something so long, and I do tend to ramble on and repeat myself occasionally. So maybe one day I'll write things down and actually, like, you know, point stuff out better and make it like a 5-minute video instead of like 10-15 minutes like what this probably is. So I'll see you guys some other time. I don't know if it'll be tomorrow or not, because commission works and whatnot that I have to work on. So